The year is 2025. "71% of the Earth's surface is covered by water, but almost all of it, salt water locked in our vast oceans, can't be used for drinking or hygiene. Only 2.5% of the planet's water is fresh, and just a tiny fraction, 0.3%, is accessible to humans. In Central Europe, water still flows freely, but in the south, in the sun-scorched plains of Andalusia, across the deserts of the Arabian Gulf, and through the dry lands of Northeast Africa, fresh water is becoming a luxury. River levels are hitting record lows. Entire communities are watching their lifeline dry up. Crops fail. The rainforest, once the lungs of the earth, is gasping for water. More groundwater is pumped out each year than ever before. Wells are drying. What's left is often polluted, making water a daily risk. This isn't a distant problem. This is now. Clean water access is no longer a regional issue. It's a global emergency. For millions, water is no longer just a resource. It is survival itself. Every drop of clean water is a choice. Drink it or use it to keep clean. When water is needed to keep you alive, you simply can't afford to waste it on hand washing. But without clean hands, infection spreads fast. Diseases that are easily preventable become deadly, and entire communities pay the price. Every year, more than 1.4 million people die from diseases that could be stopped with basic hand hygiene. That's more than 3,800 people every day. But without enough water to wash, millions are left unprotected. A new solution is needed. A way to save fresh water for drinking and still keep hands clean, to prevent infections and save lives.
Yeah, the film shows and says fresh water is a scarce resource. And it's very, very limited. I know that in this room, there are people that do not see that fresh water is really, really limited. But also in the room, there are people who definitely know how fresh water is a very scarce resource in the region.
The year is 2025.
Before I start going into the presentation, it's normally Tim Nixdorf to hold this presentation, but today I have the privilege to present it to you. But I don't have to introduce Tim, but I want to pay attention to one topic. He is driving SOAPEYA as the CEO of this topic. And Tim, you asked me if I would hold the presentation, and for me it's a privilege because it's a topic that is coming from my heart and is talking about an issue we really took care and shall take care furthermore. I'm a senior advisor to the SOAPEYA project, and I have the honor and privilege that I was there from the very first beginning. So from the birth of the idea of SOAPEYA, together with the founder and Tim, and we have been building up a core team. And so my name is Hanno Schädel, and I'm presenting to you today the revolutionary story about SOAPEYA. But it's not Tim and me who are of importance today. It's SOAPEYA. And the picture you see here is representative of what we're taking care of right now. And I would like to step back a little bit to go with you through a little bit of a story and an understanding that is necessary to show what we probably can change in this world. We were talking about sustainability. This is something that is really sustainable. This is improving the world, and it's making a better place. So when we look into the Western world and also in some other areas, we are normally used to a very easy hygiene routine of our hands, right? And you would agree that most of you are used to this process. We are going to the bathroom, we are opening the water is running, we are taking hand soap, we are cleaning our hands. After we have been cleaning our hands under the water, we pull down the water again, and then we use the towel. Actually, this is our cleaning hygiene routine that we're using, I don't know, 3 times, 5 times, 7 times a day. Depends a little bit on what you're doing, right? But who would consider it to do it only once a day? Probably no one of us. So I would like to look at this routine and would like to think through with you what it really matters when we're doing like this. There are 5 issues actually what we should take into account once we are using this routine. The first is the carbon emissions we are using by this. And carbon emission, you would say, oh, what is it about? Well, you need to produce the fresh water, right? It's something that you need to transport. It's the hand soap that is made. It's the package you need to provide. It's the towels you need to clean. And now pay attention to what I say. Carbon emissions of hand washing in the world has the same emissions on a carbon footprint like the whole flight industry in the world. Okay? Every plane that is flying around, and you just can imagine, because a lot of people of you are flying around and use different planes to travel around the world. The same emissions just by hand cleaning. The second issue we have is freshwater usage. Just to give you rough numbers, about 5 billion people are cleaning their hands every day with fresh water. 5 billion. They are doing that 4 times a day, and every cleaning needs 2 liters of water. This sums up just 40 billion liters a day. This means, and if you put it into how much is it actually, if you take the amount of fresh water that is needed for cleaning the hands in the world of those who have access to water, it means that you can put on the Niagara Falls for 7 weeks, take this amount of water, and then stop it again. This is what it is about. Whoever has been to the Niagara Falls probably knows what that is. It's a tremendous waterfall, and the water is running tremendously downwards. If you are not familiar with the Niagara Falls, I will give you another example. If the whole world would use the water for hand cleaning from the Lake Constance, or what we say in Germany, Bodensee, it would be 1/3 of the reservoir in 1 year that is taken away from Lake Constance. And the Lake Constance is the freshwater resource for Austria, Switzerland, and Germany to a large extent. Just to give you that number. So we have the freshwater problem as a second issue. The third issue is, of course, the chemical pollution we put to the freshwater. We are using the hand soap, and then we are, of course, hand soap and water is coming to a combination, and then it's not fresh water anymore, it has to be cleaned. The cleaning systems that we have in place are very good, but still, after cleaning, there is a remaining part of chemicals in the fresh water. We're not able to pull out 100% of the chemicals that we have put into the water. So at the end, it comes down to 99.8% that we are able to keep out and pick up again, but 0.2% are left. So we are talking about a constantly polluting our freshwater resources. The fourth problem is that every time we go for a hand cleaning, we are destroying our natural skin care cover. Our hand has a natural cover, which is about a microbiome cover on your hand. It's produced by your body, actually. The number of microbiomes you have on your hand is about 1,500 to 1,700 microbiomes on your hand. It's protecting you against viruses, bacteria. But when you clean your hands, you're washing away and cleaning away these microbiomes, and you are killing about 80% of your coverage in your hand. This is not very effective, and you are doing it not once, you are doing it 3, 4, 5 times, so you're always covering, the coverage is produced by your body. Then you go to the bathroom, you're reducing, it's again covered, and again reducing. This is not very good, first, because you are, in that moment you clean your hands, you have clean hands, but you're still able to get more viruses and bacteria. Especially in Corona, we had the issue that this was also some of the issues we were talking about. And of course, especially people who are exposed to very many cleaning routines, like nurses or somebody who has to clean their hands regularly, very often, they really have the problem that their hands really suffer under that cleaning routine. The fifth problem is, if you do not have access to water or limited access to water, actually you have no hand washing, no routine, no really routine to clean your hands. And imagine what I said, about 5 billion people are doing the routine with water. The opposite is that about 2 billion people are not having that routine, do not have access to water, and by that do not have these routines and not the possibility to really clean their hands. So, cleaning water and using water for hand hygienic reasons is something where we should think about, because the water is a real scarce resource globally. I know that there are differences where the fresh water is spread, but still it's a huge challenge we have to face. In Western Europe, in great parts of other areas, we have enough water. Like I said, 5 billion people have enough access to clean their hands with water. Wealthy communities, those people who are cleaning their hands do not have problems to access the water, right? If you go to your households, you have all the infrastructure, you have enough water. You never saw that you're opening the water and nothing is coming, nothing is dropping, it's running. But in wealthy communities, we see that there would be the problem, but they are able to solve it by technology. They are here, like you see the picture, it's a sea salt elimination plant. And so they're using water, salt water, and reduce the salt, and by that producing fresh water. On the other side of the coin, you will see that the energy consumption of these plants is huge and tremendous. And so you have, of course, a huge carbon emission footprint when you go for this way. Communities that are developing, therefore the picture is a symbol. They do not have the infrastructure at their home. And if they need to pick up the water for just having fresh water, they have to make a decision. Do I take it for drinking? Do I take it for the hygiene? Do I take it for cooking? And so they have to make a decision. Often they have to make the decisions towards further living, means drinking, and cooking. Hand hygiene is reduced in that places. And of course, we have a third option. Actually, these people who are living in these refugee camps do not have any access to fresh water. What you will see there is that a lot of trucks are running through these refugee camps and are providing fresh water. Actually, we know from the talks we had, 7.5 liters a day fresh water for everybody who's situated there. 2.5 liters for hygiene, 2.5 liters for drinking, 2.5 liters for cooking. And just imagine what that really means. It's hundreds and thousands of trucks that need to be there to transport the fresh water towards these refugee camps. So, without clean water, and especially for those who were in the third and the second part, becomes a real challenge for them. And if you look into the dramatic development, you see that over 700 million people do not have access to any possibility to clean their hands. And the thing is now, when they do not have this routine, and the film showed it already, then we're talking about 1.4 million lives that could be saved just by introducing a proper hand hygiene. knowing that these people do not have access to water. What we have to take into account and what we also should think of is that 80% of those who are dying are under 10 years old, because it's the children that do suffer most. And the number is really shocking, 3,000 children a day, every 30 seconds one child. This is a reality just by not having the real hand hygienic routine without water in place. At the end, this means that if we are able to introduce something where we can really provide clean hands, then clean hands can really save lives. And this makes a sustainable difference to what the system was before, right? So let us look at what SOAPEYA is about, and I would start the film so that we can look at it. That's it. It's so easy. It just needs money. Money to invest, private money to invest, to change it. This is about sustainability. I will give you a little bit of more insights, a little bit more looking into SOAPEYA, what it is about and what it is really able to bring to the society. This is how it's looking like, and I know that I think some of these things are lying outside, right? The packages. Who has already one? You shouldn't go without it. You know, I always take it with me. This is what we are talking about. Clean hands save lives. This is a pre-production product. Why pre-production? Well, this is inside a powder. You have seen here something like a tablet or a pellet. Yeah, we are still working on that one, but I will explain to you why we go with the powder right now. But this is a dry hand soap, and I will run through you with a little bit of what it really means to have this product in my hand and what it really means to society. So grab one, and you are involved. Test it a little bit. Use it a little bit. Yeah, it's very easy. Put out a little bit of powder onto your hands, rub it, clean hands, and even they are covered properly. So if you talk about SOAPEYA and where it can be used, it's actually different applications, and there are many of choices you can make. Of course, we have conflict zones, war zones, where you can easily use SOAPEYA, refugee facilities, hospitals. You can even think about outdoor and hiking, biking, whatever is outdoor, and you do not have access to water. Especially children on playgrounds and parks. You know, the routines are looking different today. We can make a choice. And of course, schools, universities, somebody who thinks about public restrooms, I think that would be really a great contribution. Traveling, public transportation. I mean, I flew in yesterday. I mean, when you go to the toilet on the plane, you ask yourself, why are we using water instead of SOAPEYA in the plane? It would be easier. We would not carry water. We could reduce carbon emissions. It would be lighter. I mean, hundreds of liters are going through that toilet, of course, and the water facilities. Or look about the trains. Yeah, they're transporting fresh water as well. Why? Of course, we have festivals and sporting events, so there's a variety of possibilities where we can use SOAPEYA. And why is it so important to understand what SOAPEYA is about? Because it's chemical-free. Why do we say so? You would say, okay, it could be chemical because it's a dry soap. No, it's chemical-free. It's completely from natural ingredients. Why is this important? When we thought about investing into SOAPEYA, there was one question coming. Is it really chemical-free? Because you look into the internet and you search and you try to find also dry hand soap. And we found dry hand soap. The only difference is that it is not chemical-free. And so it's not biodegradable or it's not really natural. It's a chemical cleaning of the hands. So be aware, this is the only natural skincare and cleansing that is possible by powder that has only natural ingredients in the world. So what I explained to you, it's 100% natural. All the ingredients are natural. What does it mean? It's vegan. And you see that there's something standing on the chart like Dermatest. What is Dermatest? Dermatest is an institute in Germany that is completely independent, and it's testing cosmetics products. And of course, we have been testing SOAPEYA in extents for what is it really about. And the good thing is I asked the unit chef, the unit boss of that testing institute, you can use it for cleaning our hands. Would you eat it? And he said, well, it's not a food, but you can put it into your mouth. Why is it important? If we give it to children, then what would they do after cleaning their hands? Probably put them into your mouth, right? So what you have to take into account is that it is completely natural and nothing going to happen, even if the children, after cleaning their hands with SOAPEYA, put it into the mouth. So it's natural. It's skin-friendly. Does mean what we have is a soap, and the destruction of the microbiome doesn't happen here. The microbiome is saved, and we have running through the microbiome test with Dermatest, and they came back and said, it's tremendously better than anything else. The microbiome is kept into your hand, so your natural hand cover is protected even by using our SOAPEYA. So it's tremendously good for your skin and your natural protection. And of course, the question was, does it clean the hands? Because you would expect as a customer buying it, that it really clean hands. We know that it is very effective. It cleans your hands. Even for heavy duty, like oil, there is a specific cleaning routine you can use in order to use SOAPEYA, and you have clean hands. Even mechanics can do it, and there is a specific how you have to use it, but it does work as well. So it's really cleaning your hands. And it's sustainably produced, so we are using infrastructure that is existing, and we have been proving by the 17 Plus, a company that is looking into the processes, how we do it, already stated that it is completely sustainably produced. And it's waterless. No water needed for producing it or whatever, it's just powder that is mixed together. So at the end, it's a 100% patented solution, and this is necessary because it would not be very difficult to copy it, right? So we have the only patent in the world that is really covering it worldwide. And it's very important to have it into your hands because it's an invention that is unique. And of course, it has a very, very attractive area where you can even think about the applications and where you can actually use it. So at the end, a patented solution. And I'm very happy that Deutsche Nachhaltigkeit, German sustainability, decided to invest and to grow it. We take the decision, and this was an active decision, not just by accident, that we say clean hands save lives might be the right opportunity to go into the market. Kostas, before we had the lunch break, explained that if you need to change the behavior of people using it, it would be very difficult to introduce it to the market. But for those who do not have water, you do not change a routine because they have no routine. That was the reason that we said we can probably much more easily introduce SOAPEYA in that area so that they are used to this routine. And so that's the reason why we were partnering with NGOs and health organizations. And still, if somebody has some contacts here in the area, we would be happy to get partnership. So if you know somebody who is able to have infrastructure here around in the area, we would be able to provide SOAPEYA even here, and in order to have a test field or to go for a long-term relationship. The good thing is, you know, when we started, it's about 1.5 years ago, Peter Schneider, the founder of SOAPEYA, was able to produce 100 grams. And it's really difficult to make 1 kilogram. But after 3 months, he came up and said, I'm able to do 1 kilogram. And then we said, oh, probably we need a little bit more, right? And then he came up and said, we have a solution for 10 kilograms. And then we went to produce it, and we worked together with a biocosmetic company, and they were able to scale up with us. And now we are able to produce this on an industrial basis. We have the recipe, we have the infrastructure, we have the process in place to produce up to 100,000 tons, which we want to produce until 2025. That means at the end, if we produce the 100 tons, that we have about 300 million clean hands end of this year. So 300 million times that our hands are really covered and infection risks for the people using it is reduced. And we are saving 300 million liters of water. It's not the end. It's the beginning of the journey we are going for. But it's a beginning that is very powerful. I talked about the launch partners. We have actually 3 launch partners. We are working together with 3 organizations that help us to test and to enroll SOAPEYA to the market. First, it is STELP. It's a Stuttgart-based health company that is bringing help to people in struggling with some critical areas. Then the Hilfswerk International from Austria, and Plan International, which is a widespread health organization which is supporting especially children in different countries. The good thing is we have been testing it. We went already to Mozambique, to Ghana, to Syria, to Lebanon, and to Namibia. And the results are breathtaking. We have been using it at schools, we have been using it into markets, we have been using it at hospitals. And the results are really breathtaking. The people accept it, they have to learn it, they have to train it a little bit, we have to think about the right areas where we provide it, but it's working properly. The health organizations are very happy with the powder. They ask us to deliver very quickly because demand is tremendously high. So at the end, I would like just to end with that picture. It's showing a little child. She's, I think, 3-4 years old, and she's in Namibia, and she cleaned her hands with SOAPEYA, because for her it means clean hands save lives. Thank you very much.